Coming up on Look Today, well, the opening date for the Strand Theater in Hudson Falls might be sooner than expected. I've got details. And we've got an update on the Cayley Castle case. More on that coming up. And a time capsule that will unveil items from 1916. We've got that. It's all ahead on Look Today. Welcome everyone, I'm Jay Hood Jackson and this is Look Today. In tonight's program, I sit down with Donna Frank. She's the head of public relations for the Saratoga County Fair. She's here to talk about the fair's 175th anniversary year. I also sit down with Mayor Joanne Yepsen of Saratoga Springs. She's here to talk about the issue of affordable housing. Plus we have your weather for the Tri-North counties, but first we've got these headline stories. Well, in our lead story, we've got an update on the Strand Theater in Hudson Falls. The first two phases are complete. Now Jonathan Newell and his company need to get 2 village board approvals, and then the Strand Theater can open, hopefully before the end of the summer. Now, during the voting period, preliminary work on the theater includes the removal of the town offices, the construction of a small stage, and installation of seating, lights, and a sound system. Well, the plans also include a coffee shop inside the theater. John Newell has a contract with the town to buy the building for $175,000. Now, once everything's approved, a closing date on the contract can ensue. Well, we spoke to Jonathan Newell about the good news.
The Strand Theater, we're past 2 of our hurdles. We've passed the Washington County Planning Board with unanimous support. The Village Zoning Board with unanimous support. Then next we have Village Planning Board and then the Public Forum on July 11th. That's our last hurdle. Then we can close after that. We should be able to remove the partitions of the offices probably in a weekend. We hope to have our first event, which is the class reunion of 1956 on August 26th. We hope. And then from there we can start to do shows and concerts.
Well, they're very dedicated to that project. In other news, well, June 20th, yesterday, saw a phenomena that won't happen until 2062. Now this year, the summer solstice, which was the longest day of sunlight, coincided with a full moon. Now the June full moon, otherwise known as the strawberry moon, gets a pink color because of its low positioning in the sky. Well, the moon's light is forced through the thicker, more humid air, and the combination of the two creates that amber color. Now, by the way, the strawberry moon got its name from Native American culture. As this time of year is prime, guess what? For picking strawberries. I saw it last night from the Saratoga National Golf Course, and it was just amazing when it broke through. A little bit of cloud cover, but it broke through at about 9:30, and it was amazing. All right, continuing with the weather. The recent surge of hot weather erupted into thunderstorms last night, with temperatures cooling down to the 70s. Well, let's see how the rest of the week is shaping up. For a more detailed look at our weather, we're going to head to the Glens Falls Weather Center for a look at your first forecast. Back to the news. Well, we've got an update on the Cayley Castle case. And I've said this before, but I mean it. We regret to report that we've got to cover a story like this. Joshua Bennett and Rachel Ball, the 2 parents who are allegedly responsible for Cayley's death, were brought from state prison to the Washington County Family Court. They have both consented to evidence that indicates that they severely abused Cayley, and they also mistreated their other children. Now, both Bennett and Ball have 5 children between the 2 of them, but none together. Now, in exchange for admitting to the abuse, parental rights have not been terminated. Now, what that means is that the remaining children will be able to visit them in prison. In other news, a time capsule placed inside the wall of the Adirondack Trust Company in Saratoga Springs will be unveiled on June 28th. Now, the capsule was placed there, catch this, in 1916 when the bank was built. Now, the capsule has been retrieved and will be opened on June 28th. Now, another capsule will take its place, and guess what? It will be opened 100 years from now. Well, we spoke to Peter Hamill. He's the archivist for the bank.
This building was built in 1916. On June 10th of that year, they laid a time capsule inside. And from what we know, it was published in the paper. Inside of it should be a number of Saratoga newspapers and some coins, a letter by Edgar Bracken, who's the president of the bank, Senator Bracken, written to his directors 100 years in the future.
God, he looks like he belongs in an Indiana Jones movie. Archivist. Up next, I sit down with Donna Frank. She's the head of public relations for the Saratoga County Fair. She's here to talk about all the amazing things that are going to go on this year for the 175th anniversary. Plus, I also talked to Mayor Joanne Yepsen of Saratoga, and she's here to talk about the issue of affordable housing. But first, if you see news happening, you want to share a story idea, how about join us for an interview? You can give us a call on the hotline, and the number is 798-8000. Well, that's all the time we have for this edition of Look Today. Well, I got a couple of lookouts. The first one, it's got to go to Donna Frank. That's the woman that I did the interview with about the Saratoga County Fair. I haven't seen Donna in a long time, and we just couldn't stop laughing. And we're going to be covering a lot of events at the Saratoga County Fair this year because it's the anniversary and there's all kinds of stuff going on. The second lookout goes to the viewers who contacted me today about the full moon. Some of you make me look tame. I just got news for you. I got some very interesting comments about people who like the full moon. And the last thing is goes out to Saratoga Hospital. I mentioned earlier in the broadcast that I went out to Saratoga National Golf Course last night because it was going to be a good view from that moon whenever it decided to come up. And I'm pulling in there, and there must have been like 250 cars, 300 cars all over the place. And they were there for the Saratoga Hospital golfing outing. And it was mobbed. So they had a very successful golf outing. So congratulations to them. All right, tonight on Look TV, it's a Queensbury Town Board meeting. It's a new one. And don't forget, tune in tomorrow night for the stories that matter to you. Good night, everyone.